Before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to let you know that starting on July 10th and continuing throughout the summer, I am going to be hosting a series of pod chats in my Facebook group. I'm going to be talking to podcast hosts about their podcast journey, why they started, why they continue, the troubles and tribulations along the way, the brilliant ahas that they've had, guests, all of the good stuff. We're going to be talking about it all in my Facebook group, Start Podcast UK. Come over and join the group at facebook.com/groups/Start Podcast UK. Come and join the conversation. I hope to see you there. You're listening to the Mindset and Action Podcast, the place to be to grow and streamline your business. I'm your host, Donna Eade. Let's jump into the show. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody, for this mini Mindset Monday. I have a guest with me, which means that we have got a fabulous episode coming for you on Thursday, or coming to you on Thursday, which is all going to be about marketing your business and the importance of it. So if you are somebody who puts that at the bottom of the pile, or you're somebody who just lives off referrals, really good episode to listen to. Come back on Thursday. But Sara Nay, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited about our conversation on Thursday. I think marketing is such a big beast, and oftentimes we think it's just too much to handle, and we're easy to bury our heads in the sand when it comes to marketing our business. So I'm really grateful for your time in having a conversation with me about things that we can do to market our business, and talking about what marketing actually is, because I think a lot of people don't really scratch more than the surface when it comes to understanding it. So thank you for that. Tell people a little bit about what it is that you do and how long you've been doing what you do.
Yeah, so I am the COO at a company called Duct Marketing. I've been with the company for 14 years now. I've worked in all the different areas of the business, started as an intern, was a community manager, worked with our clients. Now I'm in the operations role. Did sales for a while in there as well. So I've kind of been around the Duct marketing world. We serve two different client bases. And so we certify and train fractional chief marketing officers as one side of our business. And then we also work directly with small business clients as well in the fractional chief marketing officer role. So that's Duct Marketing.
Brilliant. And the reason I asked how long you'd been working is because I think when we look at business ownership and, working, and I know yours is a small business, you work with your dad, so it's kind of a family run business, so a little bit different to like the big corporate world. Mindset blocks often come up and bite us on the bum, and and being in the situation, in being with the company you've been with for 14 years, I'm sure there have been many highs and lows along the way. And I think it's always interesting to know sort of how long somebody's been in the business that they've been in when we talk about these questions. So the question that I have for you today is kind of what's been over the last 14 years, kind of what's been the biggest block that's kind of stepped in your way, and how have you managed to overcome it, or how do you continue to move through it, as sometimes is the case?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, there's been plenty of mindset blocks over the last 14 years that I've learned to get through. And it's actually recently sent me down like a mindset. I took a mindset certification course. I've read countless books. So I've put a lot of focus on my own mindset, because I think it's really important in business to be able to sustain long term, especially with one company for 14 years. Like, you have to continuously work on it, work on yourself. So it's a big passion of mine. But the biggest consistent mindset piece I would say that I've experienced over the years is speaking. Honestly, I was terrified to public speak.
Oh, wow.
To the point of if I was at a conference table with 10 people and we were going around and they're like, okay, just say your name and where you're from, I'd be practicing in my head. My name is Sara Nay and I'm from Boise, Idaho. And I would be so nervous about it. And I didn't like everyone looking at me and the attention piece. And so, but in my position now, I do a lot of podcasting, I do a lot of training, I do a lot of in-person speaking. And so I've had to get over those fears and blocks to be more comfortable. And now I'm very comfortable doing it, but it wasn't an easy journey. And I would say the things that I focus on from a mindset perspective is, I heard a quote from Nelson Mandela. It was, "I never lose, I either win or learn." And that was a huge shift for me, because I thought of speaking as I'm not good at it, or like I shouldn't be up there, or maybe I'm not qualified, or blah, 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 all the things that might be going through your
Yeah.
head. But then I shifted once I thought about that quote more. It was from some book that I read. I can't remember, but it was more of, yeah, you're going to get better every single time. You're going to get more comfortable every single time, as long as you're approaching each speaking opportunity as a learning opportunity and not just, it didn't go as planned. Maybe it didn't go as planned, but what can we take from that to get better next time and always be growing and evolving? So that was one shift. And then another book I read recently talked about how, like, you can, with speaking specifically, like those nerves that you get before something, you're getting on stage or whatnot, you can either think of those as like, oh my gosh, I'm nervous, I'm going to fail, or you can take those as, I'm excited for this opportunity, I'm lucky to be up here, I'm grateful to be up here, and this feeling inside is just giving me energy to be able to perform. And so that was another, because I still get nerves with everything I do, but it's just another mindset shift of like, these nerves are good energy and not necessarily bad energy. So those two things together have really helped me evolve and be more comfortable speaking.
Yeah, I love, do you know what? I really love that. And I love those examples because I have an immense fear of standing on stage speaking. I have to say, I'm absolutely fine. If you put me in a Zoom room full of people,
Yeah.
I'm fine. But you put me on a stage in front of real people, that scares me. And I know exactly what you're saying there with that nerves that you get in your tummy before you're going out. And what I really loved was that turning it from I'm not good at this, feeling down about it, going out there, perhaps messing up, coming back out, and then just going, see, I told you, you're not good at
Yeah.
this. And it becomes that self-fulfilling prophecy, but it also works the other way around. So if you tell yourself, no, I'm good at this, I've got this, and you come off it and you go, okay, that didn't quite go the way I wanted it, but you know what? Next time I can do this better, rather than
Yeah.
going instant to the, see, I knew I was no good at this. It's a completely
Yeah.
different mindset.
Yeah, I agree. There's another book, I remember this title, The Gap in the Gain. And that book specifically talks about like thinking about where you're at and what gains you've made versus versus like thinking about the gaps that you still might have. And so like with the speaking thing, like I can think about the times when I was like scared to say my name in front of people, to where I'm at now. And like I have a 3-hour in-person workshop that I'm leading, and I'm not nervous about it. I'm excited about it. So if I can think about that progress that I've made, it really helps you keep driving moving forward. So even if you're not at the point you want to be at yet, it's still important to look at where you've come from and where you've evolved, because that will help you stay motivated to continue to stick with it.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's just definitely, public speaking is one that a lot of people will have as a fear of theirs. And a lot of times in business, especially solopreneurs, like that visibility thing again of hiding behind the
Mm.
screen. I don't want to be out there, I don't want to talk in public, and they miss the mark then. And I think that's an important part of marketing that we were talking about on Thursday, where we're talking about that authenticity, is if you can't show up and be there as you, even on like a video on social media, then you're putting this thing in between you and your client that's going to sit, and not be right with them, to the point where somebody else who is going out there and putting themselves on video is going to pull those clients to them, and you miss out. So I think it's a really important one for us to overcome, even with just simply like videos that even pre-recorded, even if it's
Yeah.
just you. There's so many people that are so scared to do just that because they think they're not good enough or whatever it is, that they can't do it, and they get those anxieties, and then they miss out on clients because their clients aren't seeing them. They're just seeing the stuff they put out, but they don't know who's
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah, it's so true. I think in like the video thing, for example, and in all of this, like you just have to remind yourself that it gets easier every time.
Yeah.
My first videos that I recorded were absolutely terrible, I'm sure. But like I've recorded so many over the last several years because we do a lot of training for our group, where now I can do a video. It's easy. Like I don't have to replay a lot, but I've gotten to this point because I've
Yes.
practiced and I've done so many. And so it might feel really hard and awkward and weird at first, but like if you don't continue to practice it, then it's going to stay hard and awkward. But if you just get over that feeling and you're okay with it and you roll with it and you're being your authentic self, people can see that, it will get easier
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time today, Sarah. I really appreciate you sharing that with us. Don't forget, guys, come back on Thursday when we're talking all about marketing. So we'll dive even deeper into that. And I will have all Sarah's links down below. So do go over, check her out and connect. And we'll see you on Thursday.
Thank you.
Bye for now. Don't forget to hit those stars and leave a review of the podcast where you listen if you found value in what you heard today. It's a free way you can help the podcast reach more people just like you.